I'm ready. Alright, in the year 1917, there were 3 kids in Fatima, Portugal, and they claimed to have a vision of the Virgin Mary, and the whole town was skeptical. But then the Virgin Mary said, okay, I'm going to promise a miracle. And so later on that month, in October of 1917, there was a miracle of the sun. So what happened was the sun started changing lights, started changing color, and then it started moving around to the point where it came really close, as close as the clouds, towards 70,000 people. And everyone just fell to their knees, even though it was all muddy. And so that's just a preview of what I'm going to talk about. Oh, the Virgin Mary said to the kids, they advised the kids that to pray the rosary and to tell everyone to pray the rosary. So that was the main point of the Virgin Mary. And so now I'm going to reveal my object. And it is a rosary. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it has 50 beads in a circle. And then it has a crucifix attached to it. And I can pass it along. Or actually, I'm going to need it later. So my thesis will be that learning about the rosary will deepen your understanding of the Latin American culture and the Catholic culture in general. Now I'm going to review my main points. My main points will be, 1, that this represents the Latin American culture and the Catholic culture in general. And also, I will explain how I relate to the culture. So now my first point. The rosary appeared in Latin America, North America and South America, by the Spanish people. So the Spanish missionaries came over here and they evangelized the Native Americans, and they introduced what's called the rosary. And so the way it works is you pray Hail Mary on each bead, and as you're praying, you meditate on an aspect of the life of Jesus Christ. You guys have heard of that guy, right?
Who?
So that's how it works, and it's 5 decades. So there's it comes in sets of 5s, and there's 4 sets of 5. So you just pray through it. For example, the birth of Jesus Christ, the baptism of Jesus Christ, and the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. So it goes through his life, and you kind of pray and you meditate on the aspect of his life. And so it also represents the Catholic culture because it's pretty much a Catholic thing, to pray the rosary. And it came about, it comes from early Christians, and even before Christians, like the Jews, they used some sort of beads or knots to keep track of their praying. So the Psalms. So the Jews, they were very devout Jews, and they would pray the Psalms, and they had 150 beads. So that somehow condensed into these beads, and it's credited to Saint Dominic. Supposedly, the Virgin Mary gave Saint Dominic the idea of the rosary, but historians, they're debating about that. And so now I'm going to talk about how I relate to the culture. Well, my parents are from Mexico, so they grew up with very traditional values. They grew up Catholic, and so growing up, they took me to catechism, which is Sunday school, and I learned about the rosary and Jesus Christ and the Catholic faith. And we also go to Mass every week. We try to pray the Bible every day. My grandma prays the rosary every day. So I'm very much Catholic, I guess. So in conclusion, my thesis was that learning more about the rosary, it deepens your understanding of Latin American culture, and also about Catholic culture in general. And my main points were that this represents the Latin American culture and Catholicism in general. And just to close, if you're walking along and you see someone with a rosary, it doesn't mean that they're a priest or that they're a nun. It just means that they relate to the culture they're not afraid to show their faith, and that they're a part of something bigger. And in the end, a lot of people, like, they want to belong to something bigger, whether it's religion or whatever, so that